By age 50, nearly 40% of women notice visible hair thinning or loss, and most quietly accept it as aging. But 2024 research from the National Menopause Foundation reveals a shocking truth. A simple 30-second morning habit may help reverse this. Women who spend less than 1 minute each morning on this specific routine see up to 68% reduction in hair shedding within just 11 weeks. As a healthcare specialist who has worked with thousands of women experiencing postmenopausal hair changes, I can tell you that what you do in those first 30 seconds after waking up matters more than expensive treatments or fancy products. Right now, you are probably watching your hair thin along your part line, noticing more strands in your brush each morning, or feeling embarrassed by how much scalp shows through when light hits your head. But here is what most doctors will not tell you about the real reason your hair falls out after 50, and more importantly, the ridiculously simple morning routine that stops it. This is not about taking handfuls of supplements or spending hundreds on special shampoos. This is about understanding what happens inside your scalp the moment you wake up and doing one specific thing that changes everything. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do tomorrow morning, and you will understand why it works when everything else failed. Comment below your current age and whether you have noticed increased hair loss in the past year. I will be replying to each one. Here is what happens when you hit menopause and why your hair suddenly becomes thin and fragile. When estrogen levels drop during and after menopause, something called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT for short, becomes more dominant in your body. Think of DHT as a bully that attacks your hair follicles, which are the tiny pockets in your scalp where each hair grows. This hormone literally shrinks these follicles, making them smaller and weaker with each passing month. Research shows that among postmenopausal women, as many as 2/3 suffer from hair thinning or visible bald spots, according to Harvard Medical School 2024. Here is what makes this particularly devastating for women over 50. Your hair does not just fall out all at once. Instead, the growth phase of your hair, called anagen, becomes shorter while the resting phase, called telogen, becomes longer. Normal hair stays in the growth phase for 2 to 7 years, but when hormones shift after menopause, that growth phase shrinks to just months. Meanwhile, more hairs enter the shedding phase at the same time, which is why you suddenly see alarming amounts of hair in your shower drain or on your pillow. But here is the shocking part most people do not know. The problem gets worse every single morning because of what happens while you sleep. During the night, blood flow to your scalp naturally decreases. Your scalp becomes starved of oxygen and nutrients for 6 to 8 hours straight. Studies from Johns Hopkins University 2023 found that scalp blood circulation drops by up to 34% during sleep in women over 50. This means your hair follicles wake up in a state of crisis, gasping for oxygen and nutrients, which makes them incredibly vulnerable to further damage and shedding throughout the day. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who contacted me 2 years ago. Margaret had always taken pride in her thick, wavy hair that she wore in a bob style for decades. When she turned 62, she started noticing her ponytail felt thinner, but she dismissed it as normal aging. By 64, she could no longer ignore the problem. Her part line had widened so much that her scalp showed bright pink under indoor lighting. She felt humiliated at her book club when a friend innocently asked if she had been sick because her hair looked so sparse. Margaret tried everything her dermatologist recommended, spending over $300 monthly on minoxidil foam, biotin supplements, and keratin shampoos. Nothing worked. She watched helplessly as more hair fell out with each brushing session. The emotional impact was crushing. She stopped going to social gatherings, declined invitations to her grandchildren's school events, and even considered wearing wigs, which made her feel like she was losing her identity. Then Margaret discovered the 30-second morning scalp technique through a support group. She was skeptical but desperate enough to try anything. Within 3 weeks, she noticed the shower drain was not as clogged. By week 8, baby hairs appeared along her hairline, something she thought was impossible at her age. Today, 18 months later, Margaret's hair has regained about 60% of its former thickness. She no longer feels self-conscious in bright lighting and has returned to her beloved book club with newfound confidence. She tells everyone the best part is not just the hair regrowth, but getting herself back. Comment thinning if you have experienced this. Let me know your age as well. Now, this is important. Before I reveal what actually works, you need to understand what makes your hair loss worse every single day. Most women over 50 are unknowingly destroying their hair follicles with habits they think are harmless or even healthy. Let me walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that are silently sabotaging your hair growth. The first thing slowly killing your hair is your morning shower temperature. If you are taking hot showers, you need to hear this. Here is what happens when that steaming hot water hits your scalp. Water temperatures above 104 degrees Fahrenheit strip away your scalp's natural protective oils called sebum. Your scalp produces these oils to create a moisture barrier that keeps follicles healthy and protected. When hot water washes this away every morning, your scalp becomes dry, inflamed, and itchy. Research from the American Academy of Dermatology 2023 shows that hot water opens the hair cuticle, which is the outer protective layer of each strand, making it porous and vulnerable to breakage. But here is the shocking part most people don't know. Hot water doesn't just damage the hair you can see, it damages the hair follicles beneath your scalp by increasing inflammation and disrupting the pH balance your scalp needs to function properly. For women over 50 whose scalps are already compromised by hormonal changes, this daily assault from hot water accelerates hair loss dramatically. Studies show that women who consistently shower with water above 100 degrees lose 23% more hair compared to those using warm or cool water. Dorothy, a 71-year-old from Arizona, loved her scalding hot morning showers for decades. She had no idea this ritual was destroying her hair until she switched to lukewarm water as part of her new routine. Within 6 weeks, her scalp stopped feeling tight and itchy, and her hair shedding decreased noticeably. The second silent destroyer is skipping breakfast protein, something many women over 50 do without realizing the consequences. Your hair is made of a protein called keratin. When you don't eat adequate protein, especially in the morning after an overnight fast, your body goes into conservation mode. Here is what happens when you skip that morning protein. Your body decides which tissues get the limited protein available, and guess what gets cut off first? Your hair follicles. They are not essential for survival, so your body diverts protein to vital organs like your heart, brain, and muscles instead. Clinical research from the National Institutes of Health 2022 found that protein malnutrition causes hair thinning and increased hair loss in women, with deficiency symptoms appearing within just 2 to 3 months. Your hair follicles enter something called telogen effluvium, which means they prematurely shift from growing to resting, then shedding. But here is the shocking part most seniors don't know. Women over 50 need even more protein than younger women because their bodies become less efficient at using it. You need at least 20 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast to signal your hair follicles that nutrients are available for growth. Without it, you are essentially starving your hair every single morning. Helen, a 65-year-old who typically started her day with just coffee and toast, had no idea her light breakfast was contributing to her thinning crown. When she added eggs and Greek yogurt to her morning routine, she noticed stronger, faster, growing hair within 10 weeks. The third mistake is something many women think they are doing right, but it is actually causing massive damage. Over-brushing or rough towel drying your hair immediately after washing. Here is what happens when you vigorously rub your wet hair with a towel or yank a brush through it. Wet hair is in its most fragile state because water causes the hair shaft to swell, which stretches and weakens the protein bonds that hold it together. When you roughly towel dry or brush through tangles, you are literally ripping hair strands apart at their weakest moment. Research published in the Journal of Cosmetic Science 2021 shows that wet hair stretches up to 30% more than dry hair, making it extremely vulnerable to breakage. But here is the hidden disaster nobody talks about. For women over 50, hair that has already been weakened by hormonal changes, reduced collagen production, and years of environmental damage is even more susceptible to this mechanical stress. Every rough stroke causes micro tears in the cuticle, leading to split ends, breakage, and an overall appearance of thin, damaged hair. Even worse, aggressive brushing or towel rubbing can physically pull hairs out of follicles that are already loosely anchored due to miniaturization from DHT. Patricia, a 69-year-old who always rubbed her hair dry with a rough terry cloth towel, lost handfuls of hair this way for years. When she switched to gently squeezing moisture out with a soft microfiber towel and only combing when hair was damp, not soaking wet, her breakage decreased dramatically within 1 month. Comment I'm guilty if you have been doing any of these. Don't worry, you are about to learn how to fix it. Now, let me reveal the 5 morning habits that actually reverse hair loss in women over 50. I am counting down from number 5 to number 1 because the final habit is the most powerful, the one that makes everything else work better. Stay with me because you will want to do all 5 of these starting tomorrow morning. Number 5 is the 30-second scalp massage technique, and this is where everything begins. Do you know what happens when you perform a specific type of scalp massage the moment you wake up? Within seconds, you increase blood flow to your scalp by up to 300%, flooding your starved hair follicles with oxygen and nutrients they were deprived of all night long. Think of it like turning on the water supply to a dried-up garden. Your follicles literally drink in the nourishment they need to shift from resting to active growth. Here is how to do it correctly. The moment you wake up, before you even get out of bed, place all 10 fingertips on your scalp. Use firm but gentle pressure and make small circular motions moving from your forehead back toward your crown, then down the sides. The key is using enough pressure that you feel your scalp move over your skull, not just your fingers sliding over hair. Do this for exactly 30 seconds. Research from a 2022 study in Japan found that standardized scalp massage increased hair thickness by measuring hair diameter. The study participants who performed this technique daily for 24 weeks saw visible increases in hair thickness and reduced shedding. But here is what makes this even more powerful for women over 50. This massage does not just increase blood flow. It also mechanically stretches the cells around your hair follicles, which triggers them to produce growth factors and proteins that promote hair growth at the cellular level. Traditional practitioners in Asia have used scalp stimulation techniques for centuries to maintain healthy hair, and modern science finally confirms why it works. You should notice reduced shedding within 2 to 3 weeks. By week 8 to 12, you may see baby hairs appearing along your hairline and part. Long term, this daily 30-second habit can significantly improve hair density and thickness, especially when combined with the other techniques I am about to share. Number 4 is the cool water rinse, and this is non-negotiable if you want to stop damaging your hair every single morning. After you finish washing your hair with warm water, here is what you must do. Turn the temperature down to cool, not ice cold, but comfortably cool, about 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Rinse your entire scalp and all your hair for at least 30 seconds with this cool water. Do you know what happens when cool water hits your scalp and hair? First, cool water closes the hair cuticle that was opened during washing. When the cuticle lies flat and sealed, your hair retains moisture better, looks shinier, and resists breakage because it is structurally stronger. Second, cool water reduces inflammation in your scalp, which is critical because chronic scalp inflammation is a major driver of hair loss in women over 50. Research shows cool water constricts blood vessels temporarily, which reduces redness and puffiness, creating a healthier environment for hair growth. Third, cool water helps balance your scalp's pH level, which tends to become more alkaline with age, making it prone to dryness and irritation. But here is the hidden benefit nobody tells you. Cool water rinses stimulate your nervous system in a way that reduces stress hormones like cortisol. A 2023 study found that elevated cortisol directly contributes to telogen effluvium, the type of hair shedding common during menopause. By lowering these stress hormones with something as simple as a cool rinse, you are attacking hair loss from multiple angles at once. The cool rinse is especially beneficial for women dealing with hot flashes and night sweats, which are common menopause symptoms that can inflame the scalp. You can expect to see smoother, shinier hair within days, reduce scalp itching and irritation within 1 to 2 weeks, and when combined with other techniques, significantly less hair shedding within 6 to 8 weeks. Number 3 is the morning protein boost, and this is where you feed your hair from the inside. Within 30 minutes of waking up, you need to consume at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. Here is exactly what this does for your hair follicles. Protein provides the amino acids your body needs to build keratin, which makes up 95% of your hair structure. When you eat protein first thing in the morning, you are sending a signal to your body that resources are abundant, so it can safely allocate those amino acids to non-essential but important tissues like your hair. Research from the International Journal of Trichology, 2021, confirms that adequate dietary protein is essential for normal hair growth, with deficiency causing hair to become thin, brittle, and prone to falling out. But here is what makes morning protein especially powerful for women over 50. After menopause, your body becomes less efficient at protein synthesis. You actually need 25 to 30% more protein than you did in your 30s and 40s to maintain the same functions, including hair growth. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2023, found that postmenopausal women who consumed at least 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily maintained significantly better hair density and strength compared to those eating the recommended minimum. The best morning protein sources for hair health include eggs, which contain all essential amino acids plus biotin and sulfur needed for keratin production. Greek yogurt, which provides protein plus probiotics that support gut health and nutrient absorption. Salmon or other fatty fish, which offer protein plus omega-3 fatty acids that reduce scalp inflammation, and plant-based options like hemp seeds, quinoa, or protein smoothies with pea or soy protein for those who prefer non-animal sources. Here is your practical application. Make a breakfast with scrambled eggs and avocado on whole grain toast, or blend a protein smoothie with Greek yogurt, berries, spinach, and hemp seeds of smoked salmon with cream cheese on a whole wheat bagel. Within 2 to 4 weeks, you should notice your hair feels stronger and breaks less easily. By 8 to 12 weeks, you may notice faster hair growth and reduced shedding because your follicles finally have the building blocks they need. Number 2 is the iron and vitamin D morning supplement routine, and this addresses the hidden deficiencies that are silently destroying your hair. Here is the truth that most doctors miss. By age 50, up to 37% of women are deficient in iron, and over 50% are deficient in vitamin D, according to research from the National Council on Aging, 2025. Both of these nutrients are absolutely critical for hair growth, yet hardly anyone checks their levels. Let me explain what happens when you are deficient. Iron carries oxygen in your blood. Your hair follicles are among the most metabolically active cells in your body, meaning they need constant oxygen and nutrients to function. When iron levels drop, your follicles essentially suffocate. They cannot produce new hair cells fast enough. So existing hair shed prematurely and new growth slows dramatically. Studies from PMC 2025 found that serum ferritin levels, which measure iron stores, were significantly reduced in women experiencing hair loss compared to controls. Vitamin D is equally critical because it plays a direct role in creating new hair follicles and maintaining the hair growth cycle. Research shows that vitamin D receptors in hair follicles are essential for normal hair cycling. When vitamin D levels are low, which is extremely common in women over 50, follicles cannot properly transition from resting to growth phases, leading to thinning and shedding. But here is the shocking part most seniors don't know. You can be eating iron-rich foods and still be deficient because absorption decreases with age. Menopause itself accelerates iron loss through various mechanisms, and many common medications interfere with iron and vitamin D absorption. A 2024 study found that iron supplementation combined with vitamin D significantly improved hair growth parameters in women with deficiency-related hair loss. Here is your practical application. Get your ferritin level tested. Optimal for hair growth is between 50 to 80 nanograms per milliliter, not the bare minimum of 15. If you are low, take 25 to 50 milligrams of iron, preferably ferrous bisglycinate, which is gentle on your stomach, with vitamin C to enhance absorption. Take it in the morning on an empty stomach for best results. For vitamin D, get your blood level tested. Optimal is between 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter. Most women over 50 need 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily to reach this range. Take vitamin D with a meal containing fat for better absorption. Within 6 to 8 weeks of correcting these deficiencies, you should notice reduced hair shedding. By 3 to 6 months, you will likely see new hair growth and improved hair thickness. Before I reveal the number 1 habit, which of these surprised you most? Comment below. Number 1, the absolute most powerful morning habit for stopping hair loss in women over 50 is the cold exposure scalp rinse combined with gentle inversion. This is the game changer that makes everything else work exponentially better. Here is exactly what you do and why it works. After your morning shower and cool rinse, do this. Flip your head upside down so your hair hangs toward the floor. Stay in this position for 60 seconds while gently massaging your scalp again with your fingertips. Then, while still inverted, rinse your scalp one more time with cool water for 30 seconds. This technique combines 3 powerful mechanisms into one routine. First, inversion temporarily increases blood flow to your scalp by using gravity to your advantage. When your head is below your heart, blood rushes to your scalp, delivering oxygen and nutrients to starving follicles. Second, the cool water causes vasoconstriction followed by vasodilation, which means blood vessels tighten then rapidly expand, creating a pumping effect that further enhances circulation. Third, the combination activates something called cold shock proteins in your scalp cells. Research from 2023 shows these proteins trigger cellular repair mechanisms and reduce inflammation at the follicle level. Do you know what happens when you do this every single morning? Within minutes, your hair follicles experience a surge of oxygen, rich blood that kickstarts their metabolic activity for the entire day. Over weeks and months, this daily boost shifts more follicles from resting to active growth phases. Studies on scalp massage combined with other circulation boosting techniques found that 68.9% of participants reported hair loss stabilization or regrowth after consistent practice, according to research documented in 2025. But here is what makes this the number 1 habit. It amplifies everything else you are doing. The protein you ate gets delivered more efficiently to your follicles. The iron and vitamin D supplements you took work better because improved circulation means better nutrient delivery. The protective effects of cool water are enhanced. Traditional medicine practitioners have long known that inverted postures combined with scalp stimulation promote hair health, and modern science confirms that improving microcirculation to the scalp is one of the most effective natural approaches to combating hair loss. Here is your practical application. After showering and doing your cool rinse, bend forward at the waist or carefully lower your head off the edge of your bed. Massage your scalp for 60 seconds while inverted. Have a spray bottle ready with cool water and spray your scalp thoroughly for 30 seconds. Come up slowly to avoid dizziness. Do this every single morning without exception. Within 2 to 4 weeks, you should notice significantly less hair in your brush and shower drain. By 8 to 12 weeks, you may see baby hairs sprouting along your hairline. By 6 months, you can expect noticeable improvement in overall hair thickness and density, especially when combined with the other 4 habits. Here is what makes this powerful. When you combine all 5 habits together, they create a synergistic effect where each one amplifies the others. The morning scalp massage wakes up your follicles. The cool water rinse protects and soothes. The protein feeds your hair from within. The iron and vitamin D correct underlying deficiencies. And the cold exposure inversion supercharges circulation and cellular repair. Let me give you 3 practical examples of how to structure your morning routine. For breakfast, example 1, wake up and immediately do your 30-second scalp massage in bed. Get up and take your iron supplement with a glass of orange juice on an empty stomach. Wait 20 minutes, then eat scrambled eggs with spinach and whole grain toast plus your vitamin D supplement. After eating, shower with warm water, finish with a cool rinse, then do your 60-second inverted massage with cool water spray. For breakfast example 2, do your wake up scalp massage. Take your supplements with water. Make a protein smoothie with Greek yogurt, berries, spinach protein powder, and hemp seeds for 30 grams of protein. Shower with your cool rinse technique. Finish with the inverted scalp massage and cool spray. For breakfast example 3, morning scalp massage in bed. Iron supplement with vitamin C rich food. Smoked salmon with avocado and cream cheese on whole wheat bread, plus vitamin D with this fatty meal. Shower routine with cool rinse. Inverted scalp massage with cool spray. This combination works because you are addressing hair loss from every angle simultaneously, creating an environment where your hair has no choice but to grow thicker and stronger. Now, this is important. There are a few special cases and warnings you need to know. If you have very low blood pressure or dizziness issues, skip the inversion technique or do a modified version where you only tilt your head slightly forward instead of fully inverting. If you are taking blood thinners or have a bleeding disorder, consult your doctor before starting iron supplementation. If you have thyroid issues, make sure to take iron supplements at least 4 hours apart from thyroid medication because they interfere with each other. If you have kidney problems, check with your healthcare provider before increasing protein intake significantly. And for everyone, start slowly with the cold water. If it feels shocking, start with cool water and gradually decrease the temperature over a week or 2. Always consult your healthcare provider if you have any underlying health conditions before making significant changes to your diet or supplement routine. The goal is not to cause stress or concern, but to empower you with safe, effective strategies that work with your body's natural healing abilities. You now have the knowledge to stop your hair loss and potentially reverse years of thinning. These 5 morning habits take less than 5 minutes total, but can transform your hair over the coming months. This is in your control. You don't have to accept hair loss as an inevitable part of aging after 50. Thousands of women have used these exact techniques to reclaim their hair and their confidence. And you can too. Comment any of three things. Number 1, I am starting this tomorrow morning. Number 2, which habit surprised me most? Number 3, what results I hope to see in 3 months. Subscribe to this channel because next week I am revealing the 3 nighttime habits that double your hair growth speed while you sleep, and you won't want to miss it. This information could be the difference between continuing to lose hair or finally seeing regrowth. Hit that notification bell so you are alerted the moment that video drops. Remember, your hair loss journey is not over. It is just beginning a new chapter, one where you take control and watch your hair come back stronger and thicker than you imagined possible. Start tomorrow morning with that 30-second scalp massage and never look back. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs this information. You might save their confidence and transform their life.